Let's go Dolphins! I've revealed some behind-the-scenes moves, player decisions, and coaching choices that you won't believe are happening right now. And trust me, if you're a true Dolphins fan, this is the kind of information that will have you screaming at the screen, questioning decisions, and maybe even asking, are we serious about this again? Before I tell you everything, be sure to like, but only if you've been through the ups and downs, the disappointments, and the false hopes. If you've been with the Dolphins for over 20 years, leave a comment saying, "Go, Dolphins!" My heart bleeds aqua and orange, because what I'm about to tell you will make you wonder, will this be the move that finally moves us forward, or another disaster waiting to happen? Now let's get right to it. All eyes are on the quarterback situation for the Jets, and yes, Justin Fields is likely starting this week against Miami. Fields remains in concussion protocol, but the fact that he was spotted practicing on Thursday all but guarantees he'll be cleared in time for kickoff. This changes everything for the Dolphins defensively. The Jets head coach, Aaron Glenn, confirmed that Fields will start, dismissing the notion that Tyrod Taylor, who performed admirably in weeks 2 and 3, would continue under center. And while the numbers between Fields and Taylor through 3 games are nearly identical, let's not kid ourselves, the Jets didn't pay Fields to sit on the bench. But here's the problem. The last time Justin Fields played the Dolphins, he torched us. November 6, 2022. He was still with the Bears back then. The Dolphins won, yes, but Fields racked up over 300 scrimmage yards for total touchdowns and set a quarterback rushing record with 178 yards on the ground. That game wasn't just a scare, it was a warning. One that this Dolphins defense cannot afford to ignore. If Miami lets Fields break contain, he will burn them. That's why pass rush integrity must be the golden rule. Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, Matthew Judon, if any of those edge rushers lose discipline and let Fields escape the pocket, it's going to be a long night. And for the interior guys like Zach Sealer, Benito Jones, Kenneth Grant, and Jordan Phillips, they must collapse the pocket without creating open lanes. The plan is simple. Don't give Fields an inch. And yet, even with that strategy, we need help. Enter Willie Gay Jr. Now here's where it gets frustrating. The guy has barely seen the field. 0 snaps in week 1, 3 in week 2, only 8 against the Bills in week 3. And still, through just 11 snaps, he's the highest graded defender on the team according to Pro Football Focus. That's not speculation, it's data. And yet, Chris Greer and this coaching staff have somehow failed to unleash him. This is a linebacker who can cover, rush the passer, and most importantly, spy mobile quarterbacks like Fields. It's baffling that Tyrell Dodson keeps getting run over him. This might be the Dolphins' best weapon to neutralize Fields, and they're barely using him. But that's not all. The Dolphins are getting a new weapon on the offensive side too. Darren Waller is set to make his season debut. He's missed the first 3 weeks with a hip injury, and yes, he'll be on a snap count, but the plan is clear. 3rd downs, red zone, situational dominance. This is a 6 feet 6 inches, 240-pound tight end who, when healthy, is a mismatch nightmare. And while it's easy to criticize his delayed return, the truth is, if he can just be a red zone factor, he could be a real game changer. Think about it, Ollie Gorn is already starting to get red zone touches. Now add Waller into the mix inside the 10-yard line? That's scary for defenses. And let's not ignore the offensive line. Patrick Paul might be the brightest surprise of the season. With injuries to Austin Jackson and James Daniels, the pressure was on Paul to step up, and man, has he delivered. He's quietly been one of the top pass-blocking left tackles in the NFL. 0 penalties, top 10 in pass-blocking efficiency, and McDaniel himself is raving about his development. No one's talking about him, and that's exactly how you want it. Offensive linemen should be invisible unless they screw up, and Paul has been invisible in the best way. On the flip side, the Jets are limping into this one. Jermaine Johnson, one of their most productive edge rushers, is dealing with an ankle injury and is listed as week to week. The same goes for Jarvis Brownlee Jr., a promising young corner they just acquired from the Titans. If both sit, that's a huge blow to New York's defensive front. Sure, they've still got Will McDonald and Quinnen Williams, both legitimate threats, but beyond that, it's thin. Harrison Phillips and Michael Clemens aren't going to strike fear into anyone. If Johnson can't go, Miami has to dominate the trenches and put up points 24-27 at minimum. Lastly, a few quick injury notes on the Dolphins. Storm Duck is out again, 3rd straight game. Jason Marshall Jr. didn't practice either and will likely miss the Jets game. Melifonwu is questionable with a calf injury. The secondary is banged up, and that only reinforces how crucial it will be to contain Fields up front. The fewer broken plays he can make, the less pressure there will be on a patchwork backfield. Because if they don't unleash Willie Gay Jr. this week, Dolphins fans are going to have every right to blow up McDaniel's post-game presser with questions. This is not the week to experiment or hesitate. You've got a quarterback in Justin Fields who's most dangerous when a play breaks down, and that's exactly the type of player who exploits undisciplined defenses. We've already seen what he did the last time we played him, and it wasn't pretty. If Miami's defense doesn't commit to a proper containment game plan with someone like Willie Gay Jr. as the designated spy, we're going to see those same explosive, demoralizing runs up the middle that Fields used to break NFL records 2 years ago. It doesn't matter that he's in a different jersey now, his skill set hasn't changed. In fact, he's more experienced and more dangerous. If the Dolphins coaching staff, and yes, Chris Greer, I'm talking to your handpicked people, don't realize that, it's malpractice. Let's say for a moment that Miami actually does get it right. Willie Gay Jr. spies Fields, the front four maintains gap discipline, and the edge rushers hold contain. You know what happens? You force Fields to beat you with his arm, and despite his potential, he's still inconsistent as a passer. Force him into third and longs, collapse the pocket from the inside, and make him throw into a secondary that, while banged up, still has players like Javon Holland capable of capitalizing on mistakes. That's the blueprint. That's how you win. Now, let's pivot to something that should be a strength in this game, Miami's offense. We talked about Darren Waller's limited snap count, but let's not underestimate his impact even on 15 to 20 plays. In red zone packages, he forces the Jets to account for a massive, athletic target who can post up against linebackers or beat safeties on quick slants. The moment he's on the field, the Jets defense has to declare what they're doing. Double Waller? Great. That opens space for Hill, Waddle, or Mostert. Stay in man coverage? Even better, he's got the size to win one-on-one. And that's the key here, matchups. The Dolphins need to attack this Jets defense vertically and stretch them thin, especially if Jermaine Johnson is out. Without him, New York loses one of their few consistent pass rushers. That forces more responsibility onto Quinnen Williams and Will McDonald. And while those two are legit threats, a smart offensive game plan can neutralize them. Quick passes, misdirection, jet sweeps, these are things Mike McDaniel has in his arsenal, and he needs to bring them out early to keep New York guessing. Don't forget, the Jets linebacker core is also dinged up. Their secondary is missing depth. There is no excuse for this offense not to put up points. We need to see tempo. We need to see a run game that keeps the defense honest. Ollie Gordon has been getting red zone touches, and you can expect that trend to continue. But if the Dolphins can get both Gordon and Waller involved inside the 10, we might be looking at a breakout week for Miami's red zone efficiency. And yes, I'm going to say it again, Patrick Paul. The guy has quietly become one of the most reliable pass-blocking left tackles in the league. You don't hear his name during games, and that's a good thing. 0 penalties. Top 10 pass block grade. Mike McDaniel said it best. If no one's talking about him, it probably means he's doing his job right. And he's doing it without the benefit of a healthy O-line around him. This is the kind of young core piece that could define the next 5 years for Miami if they don't screw it up. That brings us full circle to the Jets. With the defense limping into Monday night, a quarterback with concussion questions, and a coaching staff that seems torn on who their best players actually are, Miami has no business losing this game. But that doesn't mean they can sleepwalk into it. The injuries to Storm Duck and Jason Marshall Jr. could leave the secondary vulnerable. The Dolphins will need a complete performance, from game planning to execution, to avoid a classic letdown. So now the question is, will Mike McDaniel and this Dolphins coaching staff finally take advantage of all the signs in front of